Hello, collective. Ooh, all right, it's a full moon in Scorpio. Full moon. Okay, so let's go on and get the information that is even. I say, is it even Steven or is it Scorpio looking at Taurus? So I believe that the Scorpio is an opposite of Taurus. So to me, it's looking over that at Taurus. So that'd be the watery of the deep of Scorpio that stings, that is looking at, I believe, the Taurus. Taurus is the mother too, uh, in the feminine, my understanding, but it's the bull. So you have the bull, so that you have the scorpion and the bull. So collected. So let's go on and get what the full moon is illuminating and to be seen, what's hidden and the opposite of Taurus. I believe that my understanding is the your chart, your natal chart would be your zodiac sign of all your whole grid of 12 of the cycle. And my understanding is depends if I'll call it um, another place is called your highest of your spiritual of placements that it's been high is the highest of it. Sometimes you have your highest of that is in between of the time. So I get in that information as well. So let's give out the thanks to your ancestors, guardians of the four corners, Mother in the earth, Father in the sky, angels, ancestors, sacred ones. I call on you and welcome you and now. I set intentions that whatever is gained from the lessons learned from the tool will be dedicated to the growth of all beings in all places. Give thanks to ancestors and highest spiritual realm. So let's get on in here and we getting us the information about the information of the full moon in Scorpio. Now, my understanding, I've already had used the Pluto cards in this video, and about what I can see to bring out what's hidden. My understanding is always a balance in it. You know, at times you see dark and hidden stuff doesn't mean it's always bad. It's just to bring what's hidden and bring in light. All right, this is always about healing here, in order to get a balance on all things. Now let's go ahead. I got something to say about. I got a book here. It's about the mysteries and the secrets of numerology. You can go find that. I believe everything have on Amazon now. But my understanding is going to give the information about what this particular is bringing in. Okay. It says here in Astro Babylon mythology, the story of the creation was written on 7 tablets that were found in the library of Artsburg Benpool in Nineveh. This date back as far as 1000 BC, but would seem to be based on 4 older creation mythology. The existence of 7 tablets bring up to the numerology of 7, and the significance, or say the significance, or as the number represent of analytics, I call it analysts of the knowledge of understanding of awareness of study. These 7 tablets are attempt to analyze to explain what brought to earth into being. The creation mythology is based on the water as the origin of all things, which is not too far removed from the idea in Genesis 1, verse 2, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters in the Astro Babylonian account. The fresh water, which is called the Apsu, blended with the salt water, which is referred as Tamat. It was formed through the union that everything else was created. The first parts of creation were the gods. This is a remarkable resemblance of Greek creation myth involving the river of called Oceanus, and which the Homer called the father of all things, Tama. Tima. Okay. What was sin is the feminine element is the creation. And was she who gave birth to the world. I want to say this again. Was seen as the feminine element in the creation, and it was she who gave birth to the world. She also represents the primitive of chaos, again, like the Genesis story, where the earth was without form and void. Two, and it says the two earliest Astro-Babylonian gods were Lukuma and Lakamu. I say it is La Ka Mu, La Ka Amu, who are not as easy to define. The earliest surviving records are a little uncertain as the nature of these first deities, and they were a little uncertain as the nature of the first. Okay, okay, I'll repeat that. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Probably represent it says a giant snakes because of the uncertainty, the characteristic, and it says writhing movements of serpent make it difficult to define its shape or position accurately. The fact of the numerology of two comes into the creation myth. Again, it is interesting. Two signifies as its adaptability, corporation, and portership. And the corporation of Lakuma and Lakumamu led to birth of Ansar and the personification of masculine, and Kasar as the personification of femininity. Some experts in Astro-Babylonian mythology regard Astra as a male sky god of Kasar as the earth goddess. Marduk also features as prominently in Astro-Babylon creation story as the entity, the organization or organs, organized and arranged in a university. So Anasar and Kesar were the parents of Anu, the mighty of E, or called Ah, and the great thinker once again is a signified numerical of two. So, let me give a little bit more. I got 3, 4, and 5, but let's leave it here. My understanding is there were 3 gods concerned as I call it celestial of object, called Sin, god of the moon, and was the father leader of Shamash, was the sun god of Ishtar, was the planet of Venus. And the 3 sisterals, I call it sisterals beings, is associated with the arts of joys and delights of simple being alive. The numerical significance of 3 is the appropriate for them. I'm gonna leave it there. Now, you have God's deities. So my understanding, D means separation of something, mean it's. So separated of it is. Okay. Now let's get it, because understanding about words, you have to understand where you're getting it from. That's why spiritual is spiritual. It starts with the beginning of 7 if I started, and that's the book 11:22:33. Now it goes from there on. So now we're talking about 7. 7 starts with the number 7 is Cancer, and also plus a 10 would be Libra. The next one would be Aquarius, would be 17:17. So, just to give some information. Now, when I first started, okay, this Scorpio full moon intentions, intuitions about the opposition of Taurus toward Taurus. Now, So let's get. I got that about the North Nodes with that too, but let's get on about what Scorpio is. Information about Scorpio. All right, let's get it. Okay. Now, let's give you some information about the Scorpio that I've seen on here. The Scorpio 1 period takes intensity as is the central image. According to the grand cycle of life, the period can be likened to the onset of middle age, with the power of individual begins to fully emerge, to peak of some as a future point in years of the 50s or early 60s. In the Scorpio first period is the ability to take control, to effectively husband and exert one's powers over the environment, to subdue wayward elements to one's will or manifested. And these days, which comprise the Scorpio first, illustrate the unlighting theme of intensity and the accompanying capacity to formulate, guide to finally transform unpolished materials and creatively and effectively and highly valuable and viable of entities. Through biology, drives may be lessened or eliminated by this time of life. Sexual and romantic expression is not necessarily diminished in importance. Many even report feelings of greater intensity that are more measured and directly as less diffuse or unstable. Advise supply, it says right here, advise supply the same consistencies you expect from others, but also be less hard on yourself when it comes to mistakes. If all is possible, to is a try to both forgive and forget. Leave excess baggage behind, and the injures of the past can be too heavy for anyone to bear, even you. Giving you balance. I'm talking about Scorpio. These books is heavy. Let's get back in here. All right, Scorpio. Now, the card that I pulled in here, it is the elephant. This is the Pluto, the Oracle of Pluto. Okay? And the next one is the snake. Now, the elephant is the big thing. Elephant's in the room, boy. The elephant is in the room, excuse me. That means that's a big thing. Elephant don't forget a thing. Do-wop, 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 do-wop. The elephant is in the room. Baby. So what that's telling me, that let me know some shadow going up in here. It's like light and dark, but the point of it, what's in the hidden part and what needs to bring out into the light. So we're talking about the elephant is like, okay, she ain't forgot nothing. He ain't forgot nothing. And we're looking at the Taurus opposite of it. Okay, you a bull. I'll sting you back. Hey. uh, so, but now I'm looking as the elephant. And elephant is strong. And like I said, a lot of information that I had to go about the elephant. I love elephant. I kept it on my necklace, and I don't know what I did with my necklace. I always kept an elephant over my neck. My mother always told me, elephant don't forget. And she was a Scorpio. And so she always told me about the elephant all the time and what elephant is for, not to forget. And sometimes when you keep some of the things that your parents have give you, some of the things they said, and you keep it. So my understanding that this particular of Taurus is just to have it's about the function of masculine. It is authority of power. It's about natural leader. Also, it is hidden to bring to light. But here you go. Now, giving you the information of this elephant. It's obstacles, strength, and majesty, and wisdom and endurance. So, my understanding, it has a lot to do with the Hindu god Ganesh. We back talking about gods in entities, deities, however. My other things, all of them was something. Everybody here was here for reasons. But it seemed like when a person is the perception of other people because of what religious that they were. Let's be real. When you bring religions in, then you bring all and separate of what is not good. It's like throw all this stuff out and everything. Okay, let's put all together. And religious calls to the prominent. That's people that have religions. And then when at a point of time you was just being whatever, and then all of a sudden things came in between, and where you were spiritual, okay, then you became in religion. Okay, you was not always religion. It was done purposely of different type of wars that was happening in this time. Okay, so you was being free, do what you was norm what was given. Then it changed, start changing things. Okay, because I believe we all came in some way, but somehow it came people came together, and then they became in religions. Okay, spiritual religions. Okay, so two different things here: spiritual and religion. Okay, so understand that some things, people, or some of our ancestors were spiritually, and they had to transform to religious. Okay, being religion. Now you have to understand that because some people were killed because of that. Now they had no choices but to transform to something else. And people were killing people of your ancestor because of that. And they went to religion. Okay. Now we're at a point of time, we're coming back to the same thing again. Okay. Now you see what things is going on into the astrology and different things is going on with the tarot of the community of conscious of all of it, okay? Then to me it's like the religious coming against to the conscious. Okay. Then in the religions they have their own issues too. Religions be coming against their own of they each of their different type of religion of different type of churches. So to my understanding, it's like they got their own in their own community. So is conscious in their community, and the tarot cards on the YouTube, and the battle royale of each one, and talk about each other. So it is the same and different in the varieties of it all. I'm saying, ain't no need to tell. You can't tell something about what's going on everybody else, but you need to talk about what's in your house too. So when you gonna give it all. Can't give some and not give all. Give it all. Tell the truth. So now you have different things. Now, one of the things we talked about Rome, and Rome was falling away. And Rome was falling away because of the control of the things. And that causes issue because you know that's a person, place, and things. And then if everything is falling away, that means everything is all together. That means the religion, the spiritualist, and the person, place, and things of controlling of all. And everybody got a person to play in all of it. Let's just be real. You can't sit in here and say, oh, this here, this is 400 years. That's a whole lot. You know, one lady on here, I forgot her name, Divine something Seer or something on here. She was up there talking about what happened with that's called the Mystique. It's the Mystic, and Mystic was in, I believe that was in 1873, and I believe she was talking about it was in, I believe she said, I forgot which one she said, but I understand it was the Mystic, and what happened with the Mystic, and that was let's see if I can find it. I had wrote this years ago, maybe 2 years ago. I wrote it down. I said I already knew what I was going to be doing, and I was like, how can I bring in the information and not to be harm nobody? Excuse me. Because sometimes you have to understand that this world is controlling of all things, and at that time it's always to bring things to remember. Okay, we all in there, but sometimes we kind of like, is this really what happened? Yes. See if I can find it. I believe it's the Mystique of the 1867, and I'm pretty sure, because like I said, I write so much, and at that time that it was about the Mystiques and what they were doing. They were burning them. Here it is. Excuse me, it's not 18. It's the Mystic of it's the massacre of 1637, and this has to do with it has to do with Rome and Catholics and religions. Okay, so then you understand what I'm saying about what's really going back to the same place of dark times. And at that time, it was like a lot of people that were at a point they had issues with the Catholic and the we'll call it Baptist, but it's not Baptist, but they call it other name. But they had different issues with the Luther and the separation of Luther and the Catholics. They had their own issues, but a lot of it has to do with I always tell you about the different things. It's the Indians, and it has to do with the New England, New York. A lot of information in here. It was about the captivity, and it's about the past. And my understanding, all of it has to do with free, but it had karma with it. Okay, meaning that it was controlling what the church was ruling at that time. To my understanding, was having issues with the kings and queens, and in order somehow had to do with Mary, Victoria. It's a whole lot. And to me, it's called the Pequot Massacre, and it was 1636 through 1638 at the New England, New York. It's the Statue of Liberty. It's the Native American allies of the Mogan, and it was about a war of the tribe Pequots. So my understanding that's my understanding on here in the Americas. Now, to each his own. Okay, you can find your own way, but my understanding, I was like, okay, they burnt a lot of our ancestors and people and family, and because of different type of what they call the witches. The witches is of knowing. Okay, no, I'm not saying it wasn't dark and light. You got different type of magicians that is create. And what create has to do with hands. So when you first started, I started here with the hands, and dark is what's the hands. How you create with your hands, what you do. Do you do things with good things or bad things? Okay. When you always say WHICH, that means also a witch. You have a choice. And like I said, got to get the understanding about how pronounce of different things. There are different things in different ways of how you pronounce in the way you put the name of witch. You can, the pronunciation of the function, how you speak and how you write it. Then we're talking about SPELL. Then we all talking about spell. Spell has to do what you write and what you say. Everything you do is the visionary and what communicates and come out with power. That means your head, what you thought, thinking, and all of it is your head. Head is the purple, and purple is thought. Okay, so and what comes out, where the power come in. Let's have some teaching and understanding and be able to understand what you say. Everything is division is dive on in. Okay, it started with the book. Understand that. Now, so got that information about the mystics, about the witches, and that they claimed the witches of they were burning people. And to be understand, you have to understand at a point in time it had to do with the plate and the plate. Plate will put in on the plate in the church. That means the kings and queens were asking for putting things on the land. They got to pay for certain things, and so you got to pay. Either at that time people was hunting, and hunting not just food, but hunting for other things. Okay. So it had a little time of robbing in there, a little red robin, and taking the wealth and bring it to the poor. So this is back again in Pluto. So it seems like it's just coming back to the what to remember, and you got to go to the past to get to understand where you in the present. Now this particular one is the elephant, and it is in the room. So it says right here. The elephant is, like I said, it's about the Hindu and goddess, but it also has a mover to obstacle. That means to pray, okay? You're supposed to pray to whom? Him or when they need to help overcoming one. The elephant is the rod reading. It's possible that you have an obstacle on your own path now. This is strength and to wisdom and require tackle as the pesky of the roadblock. As it seems, it's a heavy or big or the elephant, however, with the strength. We must also have grace. Forgiving out, it says, figuring out how to embody both at once and how to embody them effectively is where the wisdom comes in. It means it's obstacles. Obstacles has to do with the opposite of the card. So my understanding that, okay, this is the elephant but going across about Taurus. So I got the moon here, Scorpio. Then I got Taurus. And then all of it has to do with the first thing, which is the head of the ram. So you got the head, but then you got the bull, and then you got the stinger. And this is the full bringing out into what's really going on in here. Now, let's see, anything else I wanted to say about that? Okay, it's talking about different things here about the obstacle, about Taurus, but also I did have that is the snake. The snake has to do with the past. Excuse me, the present. The snake is present, and then the swallow is the future. So with that, I have here the Four of Pentacles, and then I have the King of Swords. Okay, so my understanding. So that is the past. Opposite is of the Taurus. In the snake, and snake is the enter of the knowledge part. Okay. So now that we know, the snake has to do with the serpentine. Also has to do with the high priest. And it's about the God's part, the information about the high priest of it. So that's 23. And it is a 5 back again. 2 and 3, intuition, and the Empress. And all together would be number 5. And 5 then be Taurus. Taurus would be the Hierophant. So let you know how everything is in order. It is, numbers don't lie, we lie. So snake has to do with the divine feminine. It is the function of the divine feminine. We talked about the other video that had to do with the function of the masculine. Divine masculine had to do with the father. But it was the function that was crossing with divine feminine, with her function as a masculine, as an emperor. Was it like the woman king in her functions? Okay, now this one here is about divine feminine. That's the function, okay? It could be in the role of a male or a woman. It depends on how you roll. It's up to you. A spiritual awakening. All of this come back with the number of the divine feminine that first started in that book of the book that I was reading, which was the mysteries and the secrets of numerology. So they let you know that that is the energy now. That means falling away from all the things for 400 years that has a whole lot to control order. And that means that falling away. If you falling away, it means you as a person, individual, place, things, and all around. Mean it's been a shifting of to transform from all of that. That is like now we're in the divine feminine energy. It's time's up, time's up. All of that stuff is over. So that means it's like how you deal to transform a change. I said, some people say change is good, but it sure is hard. We say one thing, but the body got to catch up. Your mind, you can say all this what you're saying, but that body gonna have to take some time to get the healing part, break it down, shedding of all things, and become something new. You can just say whatever you want. We can talk real quick with that. That mouth is quick, but that body don't. That body is slow. And that means that soul got to get back to the light. Because, honey, that soul had to burn like burn rubber. Because that had to be burnt and divine and cleaned and burnt. That means all the things that you thought and everything, a lot has to be burnt and been cleaned and become as to change new. Okay, this is about the feminine, about the snake. At a point in time, the last video I had about the snake and about the skin. And I was like, wait a minute. Sometimes you can go back and read your different things over and over again, and you kind of like at a point in time your mind and your thought was not in the right mindset. What you read, come back again, you like, oh, that was about. Sometimes you start laughing, you're like, what you laughing? I'm like, transferring skin. I'm like, okay, the point of the nature part. It's just giving you the information about it. So now we're talking about skin and knowledge. Then you're like, okay, how they got to do with human? And I'm like, it's transform skin to bring new skin. I mean, after a reptile got to shed all of that and to become a beautiful of the skin back together, because that's old, it has to shed it. So they bring knowledge. Knowledge is not always is bad. Serpent is somebody can outdo you, honey. That's what it really is. You get scared. You get scared because somebody can put you in a position of that. All right? Somebody know a little bit more than you know. And they becoming that serpentine. All right? So let's get on the divine feminine. It is the snake is one of the oldest known symbols of the goddess. And it has the powerful correspondence in the occult. Now, O got to be... Okay, it's like, can't have one without the O. Zero. Zero was there. Zero means the most high, his spiritual highest realm. Okay, then you go from 1 and 3. That becomes 13. 1 and 3 has to do 0, 1, and 3, which will be seeds, right? That gives you information that's a 13. 13 means death and beginning. That means something dying and to bring rebirth, okay? And it's a balance of it, okay? a part of it. Now, a part of a cult is a person that is an organization, organ. Organ. That's like organ has to do up on the shed. Shed is something up under the hood. Okay, that means something hidden behind it. That means they come together and make a occult organization, organ and organize. Okay, the snake is the richest being, is meaning referenced in many cultures. Okay, different cultures and religion and also spiritual practices too. Depends if you have more than one that has a group become as organization and organized. Okay, with the most famous representatives being is the Kundalini, Ka, Kami energy, Kundalini, and that can also be Khan, like a Khan, a person, Dalini, or it is a Khan or can Dalini. So meaning, can I, Dalini, question on that, if that resonates to somebody. A spirit guide is believed to be triggered at the start of a profound spiritual awakening. This it says, if the snake has grace, your reading is with the present. It's likely that you are undergoing the process now. So snake got to do with going through it. 10 months, baby. Oh, that spiritual awakening, baby. I don't know what to tell. Man, when I don't know, when I think when it's my book gonna be something else. I think everybody gonna have this is my awakening need to be in the movie. Baby, mine need to be told in the movie. Cause this one is something else here. They say the soul. They say the dark soul. She went through that dark soul, baby. You come like the soul glow. All right, gotta come up out of that. Baby, when you get through, you got the glow, and you feel a certain kind of way, and you remember where it was a couple years ago, you like, wow, that was the glow. Well, it's a spiritual way. Everybody is their own individually going through it. They don't know what it is, but they don't. We know that, hey, it's gonna be all right. Cause we still don't know the answer. We don't know the answer. We going through the process of the journey. We going through it. Everybody going it. I'm just saying, everybody. Okay, it says just a snake is shedding its skin is a sure sign of its growth. You may be experiencing old beliefs or versions of yourself falling away now. Recognize that the necessary part of your healing journey. Often after we undergo the profoundly difficult and painful time and emerge of the other side feeling as through as a completely different person. You transform. It says to fully embrace the new authentic version of you. It's necessary to let fall away and what must fall away to complete the process in integration. Shed the dead and wait and welcome into the healthy version of yourself. The snake may also be sign of the goddess of divine feminine is calling out to you. Say hello. Hello, divine feminine. Okay, so the reflection of this is given especially during a global colonization of the spread of the Abrahamic religions of the feminine aspects of divine has been snuffed out. Think of the story of Adam and Eve and how the snake leads Eve into temptation and up timely of original sin. Think of Medusa. Think of the people feared all the snakes. Feminine power has been feared for so long, and because of this, it's being twisted and distorted into something that is bad, ugly, even or less than. Luckily, a reclaiming of the feminine is the rise, and with it, I call it mantling of these grossly or misconstructed ideas. Regardless of the gender identity, we all possess the feminine and masculine energy within us, just as we must integrate our unknown, the shadow side, and become healthy and balancing human. So, too much we integrate our feminine energy. Society has a lot of ideas about what feminine looks like, but what does it mean to you? Now, Is it a time of define the side of yourself? So let's give it information. Falling away from things. It is the divine energy now. And now you got all of these targeted AI, targeting individual because of the divine feminine and the and divine, divine masculine. So now that you know somebody I forgot his name, but he said at a point in time when they come with the twins, boy, that was gonna be a whole lot of corporate stuff going on there. When they get to the point that the twins has come together for a powerful to bring kings and queens together, oh boy, it's gonna be some trouble in the city. Oh, I said what? It's gonna be a whole lot of something in the city. And I said, who rep your city? Because this here is real. Baby, they don't come out no target of them or target individuals unless they are scared. They scared. It's the opposite. Now you listen here, you talking about controlling of all of it. They gotta do it wrong now. And that means if they come to all of that means they're scared about you because they knew that energy was coming. They had to come in here and try to watch and to stop everything that you was doing because of that. Okay? Or is it that was that your time and baby somebody had to come in here and baby step you in the way that you need to be. However, you can find out whatever. To me, I say, hey, lessons learned from it all. You're going through the process. So that means that you're going through the darker soul, that this is a part of divine, you're dealing with the divine feminine and how she is. And honey, I don't know what to say. I need a drink on that. Because there's a whole lot to talk about. And we'll be in a book. Going through your awakening of enlightenment. But it's you. It's about yourself. So now let's get on in here. So I got the Four of Pentacles here. And the King of Swords. And like I said, Swallow has to do with the future that's coming for you. So when I put that information, I wrote it down here. There it is right there. You right over here, got so much in here. So my understanding, the Four of Pentacles have to do with shadow. It's hoarding and when you vex and vexing another person, it's a lack of mentality. It's too much on your value. Money need to be cherished and give to communities, and it's to be light. Sometimes your mind is only on money, and that's part of that Four of Pentacles. Pentacle has got to do with practical and about power and money. And if that's in the Four Pentacles, so I say Pentacle can be close to in between. We in the month of Four. Also doors, platform, and how you plan. It's planning. Whatever you planning in that, right? My understanding has to do with where we're at right now. So it's still in Aries going into we're in Taurus now. So my understanding this is about Taurus. So like I said, the Scorpio is looking the opposite of Taurus. Okay. So that means that is stinging over here on a Taurus. Meaning that my understanding is sending out the information about Taurus. Okay. Now, meaning to and it's like the revalue is the internal of how the inside the spirit and the outside of the of soul, mean your interval, which is your time of rest, and revalue what you done went through and all of the awakening enlightenment. So it's your time to rest about what you had to go through. Okay, they're giving you the we're talking about the feminine, the divine feminine functions. This is what this about. Scorpio's thinking on that. That's the full moon Scorpio looking at Taurus. Okay, to each his own. Okay, if that resonate in your natal chart placements and your zodiac signs, figure out which one, how the degrees of it, of the full moon into the degrees. I believe I have 4 and 10. 4 and 10, no, I believe it's 4 and 1. And also 10 can be also 421. I think 421 and 23. Then they give me an order 1, 2, and 3, 40. To be 40, and all be 43. Be 3 and 4s. If that makes sense. So with that, my understanding, it's giving out how to have a balance and go back to look at the value about your thought and your mentality about money and how you need to save. My understanding, reading all the information, but also it says is to double check on your foundation and save some money for a rainy day. About your finances, continue with your toward your goals and focus on your possessions and let go of the jealousy or derived from another person or position. Like, stop. When you get in that type of thought, one person is talking about, it was like I said, the window shopper. You looking at me and whatever. It's like a window shopper looking at somebody else's their ideas and they made it or something like that. My other thing is that sometimes people don't understand that some people may have the jealousy part, or some people don't know what jealousy is about. But understand it's a collective, you know. Some people are looking at the jealousy, or some people are like, would like to one day have. Sometimes you have some people are jealousy and looking about what you doing, because sometimes some of us, we don't understand that you're in a better place than some. That means you have to be gratitude to everything that you have. But if you're always looking for somebody else and not to evaluate about yourself and your place and what you're around, that you're very not paying attention. You know, I always saying that the devil keep me busy. That means the devil keep you busy because you choose to be busy at all times, and how to keep your money. You looking for the money part, and you're not really taking the time to rest and reevaluate of time to understanding what you do and how you do things. I believe the pandemic had a lot of stuff to time to rest too, and to get to understand about reevaluate about a lot of things for everybody, especially with that time of death and rebirth, and people died and people are changed too. Give you some reevaluation of a whole lot of it. It says a lot of other things about negative feelings and abundance, blockages, and how it will hold you back. It means a time of even to magical or create. It's trajectories. Hold to it. Blocking yourself from stepping in the flow of wealth and happiness, and looking down on others, and a base time of humility others, and how money and they have and you don't have. So that gives you some information. I'm looking on Taurus though. So they're letting you know that Taurus got the issue. Now I said about the North Node. North Node depends on your chart. North Node was Scorpio. Scorpio was the north and to keep the north, and the south was in the south node. So the point was to look up in the spiritual and to be look up in the positive of it, and south node was the negative. So how to get yourself from out of that certain thing, a negative thought. It's not easy, you know. It's just to the point you have to start with you first in your mind and change it. It's not easy when you're so used to doing it all the time. You have to figure out how to change things. It's not easy. Everybody say yeah, it's easy. It takes the time that you take the time to do it for your own self. And when you do it yourself and how you do it, and no matter how you do it, as long as you do it, it's you. You don't worry about what everybody else can do. Don't get started with you. You know you need to do something, and you have to just do it yourself. No, and anybody can tell you what they need to do, and by the time you do that, you don't listen. You ain't heard nothing they say. But when you do it yourself, That's when you know you have started changing. Um, so that's what are the four pentacles. My understanding with that King Swords on here. Let's get some more information about four. Four also has to do with leadership, roles, doors, and planning as portals. That means something came in. We came with the eclipse now. Came with the eclipse, and then that came with a door and a portal. That has to do with something has to do with transform, and also has to do with the platform. That is your planning part of your house, of your tent floor. That means it has to do whatever you building up. This is entrepreneur, whatever you finna do. That has to do with Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. Okay. Number four is with this about Pentacles has to do with that energy. And if that energy, somebody in here has Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. Okay. Next one is King of Swords. King of Swords got to do with Aquarius, Gemini, and also is in Libra. Okay, so the next one has to do with this king, and this has to do with the shadow part, bringing in focus on what is scattered energy, impatient and action and quickly. Mean has to do with something to do frustrated and frustrating circumstances. It means something is something manipulation, control, conceit, showing off your intelligence. Mean has to do with the rigidness of thinking, and also it has to do over control. And it means something as some type of irrational being calculating rules and thought. Maybe there's something they trying to put some kind of this king of swords in here trying to calculate, trying to do different things. He shouldn't be doing all that. Maybe he's doing it as the negative part of the part. Maybe this is the things that he like to do. Maybe he need to transform on something. But it's the clarity that before your take of your next step. Maybe he in here planning things negative. To me, as a woman here, she got the four pentacles. She got it going on here, and he do too. But his thought is looking at something else. When you look at the picture, she got a look here. She got this woman got a pocketbook. That person got something in there. Okay, she got the money right here, four pentacles in here, and she got bread. Bread means royalty. It means something red. That means she got some type of fiery, and like if that is coming from Aries going into Taurus, that's where she is, and her head is wrapped up, and it's with yellow. So I'm telling you how that is gold. And me, her crown is on the top. Her diadem with Colin is basically it is a crown. Wrapped mean crown in protection. You mean that is she's wrapped up. Okay, that means basically that she holding on that pocketbook. Okay. Now this particular Mr. King of Swords here, he's sitting up in here, he got his owl, he got his crow, and then also to me is a bat. So I see a lot of dark going on here. Something hidden. I see a pole here. Also his head is white. That means has wisdom, beard is wisdom. He had black and white. So to me black and white to me he has both. So he have hidden things and knowledge and also bring light. So give you both of the colors that I'm looking here. So it's black and white. So, but that owl is here. So he see through it all. So, but he in there practical and tactical doing all kinds of things. So, what the purpose is to bring back to light. So, my understanding, if he's dark and doing his black and white, maybe he's with that. Black and white could be in hidden in knowledge. But she's over here royalty. She wrapped up with crown, and she got here four pentacles. She got going on here. So maybe something that these particular people are trying to blend it in to become. Maybe it's divine feminine, it's divine masculine. Maybe they're trying to come together in something. You never know. It could be a partnership. It could be family. It could be your family and your friends. Maybe your friends are trying to come back together to whatever it was of negative thoughts and decide to come back and came back together and to do something that's good for the family. Okay. Just saying it is experiences of things and communication because it's all it is really. My understanding that this particular of this king of swords is just a lot of little things that is using knowledge, and he's using it negative, but he's gonna have to transform into another way of the seeing of the visionary of the truthful and communication. It's time to help other people. So instead of trying to put in organize and doing things and crafting, may have to come back into truth. A truth of Libra, of swords, because honey, you can use calculation of that sword. You can use it in all kinds of knowledge and all kinds of things with communication, honey. It power. You know what you're saying to other people. Maybe you need to change. He need to change some things. What he put out negative, he need to bring back into a positive with his communication to other people. It's mean a clear thinking and can find success and intelligent and wise decision about your future. And the future got to do with that swallow. So what swallow got to do with swallow? So that gets some information about that. I said I was gonna wait until Wednesday to do it, but then I said no, because I can keep adding to it, and I didn't want to do all of that. I just wanted to just give out the information about the full moon of Scorpio opposing Taurus. And let's see, swallow. It's number 19. 19 got to do with sun, and that means absorbing. So now this particular swallow card is the future. That means on the way. So that sun with the swallow, let's get to understanding what that means. That tells you that it's hope, optimism, last steps on a journey and trust. The swallow has deep ties to the sailors and naval of companies across the world. In the UK, a sailor earns a swallow tattoo for every 5,000 of nautical miles they travel. Lore among the sailors is that seeing a swallow is the sure sign that you're approaching land, even if you can't see it yet. It represents the end of the journey back home. I think that's the last card. Our last video was about the journey go back home. The swallow card in the deck represent in the similar of sentiment, one of hope and optimism and trust. And it says it sure sign that you're nearing of the completion of a cycle in some way. The last steps of this journey are in the front of you, even if you can't see them or have trouble believing there. Okay, muster whatever strength is resilience and you can and trust, and that you have nearly made it. This may require faith in something higher and or bigger than yourself. Something divine is omnipotent to seize the great plan. Trust that you are fully supported in the journey and will carry where you need to go when you need to be there. Whatever the end this cycle represents you, know that hope is present. Find a way to grab on to it and trust that after bringing out of the sea for so long, your landing on solid ground is imminent. That means imminent mean I, and that means minute in. Thank you. All praises. And that's praise too. I pray, honey. I practice in all kinds of things too. But when you hear something like that, that's about that dark soul. You done went through all of that. You done went through that travel. You like, is it over yet? Lord, it's like, Lord. Further reflection is, what is the last time that you experienced an undeniable synchronicity of all, an alignment of so many as it says serendipitous events that couldn't be anything other than fate. Try grab on that feeling now and know that something magic is afoot. That's the future, but it said in the present. You coming from present, that's telling coming from the present into future, because future come back around. And to my understanding, with the Four Pentacles and the King of Swords, letting you know that this has to do with transform. This is divine feminine, okay? This energy is about divine feminine, the function of it. Now, and divine masculine too, because my understanding, the man is here, so might as well call divine masculine too, but it's the function of the divine. That means the connection, the divine to a woman, and connected, the divine is connected to a man, and that is man. Okay, so I'm saying that means your divine means the source of high brings down, lows down, and become as you become God's entrepreneurs. You become as gods. Okay, you know what I'm saying? My other thing, you coming from God's, but you coming from transform of divine. You going back to what was started to the beginning. If that makes sense, spoke you out. Which I started to the beginning of how it started. That means Genesis. That's spiritual. Numerology has to go back to what spoke out. Everything come back where it started. And my understanding with this was conscious in the religions of the Rome and all the things that fell away, it come back to the remembrance to start it again. Let you know that everything has been organized to be control and fear, and how the fear has put over that for so many years to fear and to control all of it. Okay, because therefore, it's a lot of things that people wanted to do, but they was worried about the religion part and what people was going to say. Then I also said spiritual was first until all the wars happened and then started controlling. Everybody had to go from spiritual, went back into religion, and there people died. And because they had either they was cutting off people's foot, people was dying and burning them, all kinds of stuff. They were doing everything. They were burning people by the stick. They was killing people, cutting. People was cutting off their heads on statues in front of the some of these different type of these kingdoms. They had heads on sticks and stuff. They was doing a whole lot of things was going on back then. So I'm saying, just imagine how many people that transform into spiritual, into religion because of their family died and they were scared. This is back here about all the mystics and things will happen back then and back of those years, all them kingdoms and all those wars. Okay, so now how can I bring all this information here? My understanding here. So we went that about that information about the elephant, and elephant had to do with a lot to do with Rome, and it had a whole lot to do with the hunt, and it's the serpentine, and about the negative and how to bring it a positive in serpentine, and it gives you information. Like I said, it has to do a whole lot to do with the protection of 144 and bringing in demonic and powers of controlling fear mongers or fear factors to other people targeting individually, and it has to do with about the change of falling away and how we're in the healing process, because anybody that went through all of that, it's a lot of breaking. It means broken. You know, that means of your ancestors that they basically had to go through all the process and then they went on. But the generation of it is sacred, that is you're connected to them, and how they felt about it, they feel a certain kind of way. People died and don't even know why they died. Okay, come on, somebody. We don't know. They don't know how their thoughts. How they have their own thought, and how they get their information is throughout of different type of energies. Okay, and it means certain things that be able to hear of different things heating out of a system. When you call it ascending of the downloads of different of your generations of your ancestries. Okay, and they have a way got the thought and how they want to say and what they want to say, and they speak through you. Okay, to each his own. I'm just saying. Now, this feminine energies is given about the awakening part. Okay, and that to me is to that you went through, and you might not didn't like it, but there was a part of awakening of things to transform yourself into something new and be new. So you have to respect. And now some of the information I read today, I get a little bit more peace in it, because I have my own way of things, but I know sometimes it's just a part of the living part. You know, AL mean is the beginning of living, and get the understanding about it. It's a lot of things that being up under a student, you still have to be learning and try to have a peace and rest with it, knowing you don't like it. You're going through all the process. You don't like how things that you're not used to. So you have to find some kind of peace of mind in order to get the understanding about this divine feminine function of this enlightenment of transform into the divine awakening. So a whole lot of things here. So, version of yourself falling away. It's like I come back in Roman for 400 times, falling away. Person, place, and things transform to next. Education of the age of Aquarius. That's the number stars. They come back as being as spirit, mind, body, which is also your choices of soul. What your practice and what you decided you would like to be. Self-recognize if this is necessary part of your healing journey. Difficult, a painful time. It is. There's a lot of stuff that you got to go through the process of it, and always not what you think. Honey, I was hot. Then moving on. Transform. We are your own different person and fully embraced. It's the new authentic of the version of yourself. Let it is necessary. Let it fall away. What must fall away is to complete the process integration. Shed the dead weight and welcome in the this is the heal honey, I don't know what I was doing, but it's about the healer, the version of yourself. Say hello. Okay, so I did that. Also is I hear about the different types of 14 is the balance. I got in here, love has finally come at last. I got bubble as a bubble. I'm talking about bubble with the drinks. You might need a bubble tea. You might need a bubble tea. But this is Bobby Womack and Patty LaBelle. This is the love has finally come at last. And this may have to do with a twin family, divine family, masculine and feminine. Maybe it's time for them to came together and last all this time. And to me, understanding it has to do 5 and 31. Come you back into priesthood again about the 3. 3 has to do with wealth in Empress, okay? In that time. And that understand 31 also can be as the most high and divine over ahead of source. So 1144, I give you another manifestation on there. I give 1144 and 14 as well. And 114 and 212, which is the healing part of the process. Okay. Now, let's get on in here. I got the 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups. 8 of Pentacles. Page of this is the page of Pentacles as well. Start with, and this the big one thing. 10 of Cups. What is, I don't even know what to say. Ain't nothing else to be saying here. Because all of it is money. It's Pentacles. It is new. Page is new. Meaning as it could be somebody in the energy of young of new energy. Because page also means something new. And that is a big old coin here, and all those coins here, everything I see is coins and cups, and a big old family thing here. That's what I see here. North Node, my understanding about the North Node, I've done that in the video. You go look about the North Node and the Scorpio and the Taurus. I've already done it. I really don't want to do that because I already did. It's in one of the videos, but to my understanding, you go to look at Scorpio North Node and go into the Taurus South Node, and then you go in there and to do the part of about the full moon that is opposite as looking at Taurus, because Taurus is you're gonna find out what Taurus is all about. To my understanding, it's number 5. 5 has to do with priesthood. Priesthood is the Hierophant. Hierophant got to do with marriages. It has to do with connection of another person. It could be divine and be marriages. And somebody's going to get married. To my understanding, the pictures is giving the information here. So to me, it's all together. Business, her mind thinking or whatever. A woman here again, and together. You see that? And then all of that, herself, and then it's another family, and a whole lot of family going on in here. To me, it's like a new change, transformed to all things and everything from healing of all of that, meaning all the things we went through. Everybody went through the spiritual awakening, and to me, it's mean everybody going through that dark soul to get to understand enlightenment, how to be burnt and shed and skinned. Divine is mothering about the function of all of us. She's in function, and she gonna deal with each one of her children in the way that she would like. That's her business, and that's what she is. And even though, Lord, you gotta forgive them. You gotta forgive yourself. If you done said things, Lord, forgive me, because I done said all kinds of stuff. I ain't gonna use my. I done said everything from the A to Z. Every of the sailor is out here, and say the sailor is out here on that with the swallow. The sailor was out here. You know what I got to do with cussing? I mean cussing from the A to the Z. Because I believe that's what started anyway. Because they started cuss. They cuss. They surely do. Anyway, let's get on in here. Now, I have 4 cards in here. It says Timothy 2 and 15. I'm spiritual. I said all. Do you the best. It says, do your best to present yourself in the Most High as one as the approved by Him of a worker who has no need to be ashamed, rightly explaining the word of truth. That's what the numerology of 2 and 15 means. Positive vibes are coming in your way very soon. Keep on optimistic mindset. Try to avoid negative thoughts, and things will surely work out the way and plan. Optimistic nature, open-mindedness to see the positive side of all things, and cheerful and cheery and positive and confident and hopeful and sanguine and beyond. Simple suggestions that the situation on your life demands to change, and then change. You need to maintain your balance and to be accepting of all setbacks and symbolism, meaning that a message of mystery of the numerology. 2 and 15, Timothy. Next one is seducing and insecure spirits, causing speak lies, assume hypocrisy, and this is not true. This is not true. But a narcissistic person, place, thing, anyone, start to the root of family, a neighborhood, and friends, co-worker, friends, other and around, grands, ma, pa, you, aunts, uncles, cousins, sister, brother, niece, nephew, son, daughter, exes, past husband, wife, boyfriends, girlfriends, entice, speak illy, trying to stop projecting others. You have to have insecure how to feel about them, negative, send out another that wants them to be negative way. You can see if you can be you, causing insecure with yourself within your inner spirit, saying you can't. You're able to do faith, believe works within, with the spiritual light brings back to light what caused from the root family that didn't know that thyself. Insecurities, feeling emotion not to one half, 5, not a whole. Okay, meaning the half of it ain't the whole. You need the big 10. Enough felt away of a state of Lord. This one has to be projecting, rotating, circle, spinning. It is a person on the gaslighters. There's more others than a signature of technique, and that's a narcissistic mean manipulation. What is the projecting and reveal of people? It's the psychological mind, spiritual warfare. And what does it reveal about people? Projecting in psychology means projecting your own mental states and traits into others' traits that they do not process. So it's like a joust of a movie. A projecting or projects as you to see you. Projecting involves in dissolving of accepting a part of oneself, attributing into someone else. And it says exploring of concept of projecting is done almost as the comedics affected it is. Was it so potentially damaging to someone a career? That is the veil. It says it's a devil. It's the children. Job. It says the Most High knows. America. Ooh, move back. It has to do with a lot about insurance. Has to do insurance. Has to do life, death, and insurance. Death, insurance. Mean death in the beginning. Got to do with insurance and money. At work is a gaslight narcissist, the boss. Okay. We'll write on your performance review that you are always late. Manager and co-manager, standing out, confident, achievements, and light and jealousy. That's number 3. Number 1 is the create magic. 2, intuition. 3 has to do with about the money part, and that means If that's money, that's the pocket. That means somebody trying to either the money and trying to remove it from what you're doing. If it makes sense. Got one number 4. Labrinx, 20 is the judgment. It's the projection is process of displaying one's feelings about a different personal animal or object. As the terms is commonly used as described offense, who projected unto who put the place an animal character that gave a name. Mean SPLL spell. It has to do with divine. Applaud to reveal the beast of mystery lips, the will of the watch of the Ezekiel. Proof is the puppet master, little pup animal beast. Wild smells, bell and hunter, instincts, yikes. Spells to capture the same thing projecting, okay? I got 64 on that. The next one is and it's 541, witch, your warlock, high priest. It's the karmic. I beaten. It says, I beaten you, the witches, dark shadows, witches. It has the twilight. And it has the narcissistic as the fear that's behind of the reveal of the wind of these doors, the mirrors. Negative, do not believe on faith. Okay, negative, don't believe or faith. That means the energy vampires, the vamps, the spiritual. They don't believe in faith. Anyone can need to transfer spiritual light of love. So that was all of the 5 that I picked. And I didn't pick, you didn't pick yourself. It was all in order. So I said, okay, that's it. 1, 2. And all this has to do with all of this stuff that we're dealing. All of these things, limpers and the witches and the people either narcissistic or hidden behind all of this stuff for all them years. You transform, awakening of all the spiritual awakening for all the things and of your ancestor, that all of it. It's a whole lot. So what Scorpio got to do with this? So first of all, he says, I'm known to send one word text. He says, I don't get mad, I get even. The next one is, I like to keep my private life private. I give you TMI without warning. Okay. The next one is, and it says, okay, let's do this right here. Since we're on the 5, Scorpio, and 4 and 20, let's do that. Okay, so I consider joining a cult just to see what it is like. I love watching true crime documentaries. I prefer to sit back and observe rather than be the center of the intention. And the next one is, I basically have 3 emotions: angry, obsessed, and indifferent. Scorpio, all right, Scorpio, look at him. He got a lot going on up in here. Now, Scorpio, the male or woman, but this energy of this hidden, of illuminate of what's really going on, and this got to do. The person is sending out the gun toward the Taurus. So now, just like getting the information about it. So Taurus, I tell Taurus is it's about priesthood marriages, and this is Scorpio, the energy about it. It's the stinging of it. Stinging has to do with Pluto. So the information that I just gave out of those beautiful cards, and give you the past, present, and the future. And to give you the information about the 4 Pentacles and the King of Swords, to me as divine masculine and divine feminine. My understanding of energy is about the snake or the serpent seed, which it has the function of the divine mother. Okay, when you understanding that, giving the information about these 2 people, this woman and this man, about the family. Everything is well here. I see good things here. I see that everything has transformed, and this is about the awakening from Scorpio going to Taurus and Priesthood. To me, it's hidden things is coming out. So in Scorpio got to do with hidden things. And one thing about a woman and a man, when you have Scorpio, they always gonna get what they want. They always have. And like that when I first started, when I read out the information. Well, that's all I see here. All I understand is the past, bringing it to present, and present is futures around, and everything is good here. I see nothing but good things here. I don't have nothing really negative. It's that to transform from the negative part into transform into light to positive. And that's the only thing I see, that anybody can do that anytime you would like. It's your choice. But understanding that Scorpio is the full moon is coming in here about that Taurus and different things on that particular about 4. It has a little thing to do with 3 and 4, which is 7. 7 comes back and has a part of the Cancer, which will be the mother. So my understanding that we got mothers coming, Mother's Day is coming. So a lot of little things that's coming into that. That's all I could see bringing out today. I've done enough of said, but this is the full moon of Scorpio. Y'all have a wonderful night.